tonight.
Early this morning, a shooting brought Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies to Southeast Cottrell Road in Boring. And now we have some late-breaking details on this story.
Well, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office has just confirmed to us that they discovered an adult man, an adult woman, and a dog, all deceased from gunshot wounds on the property. Fox 12's Carly Olson live on that road where this all took place. Carly.
Pete and Riel, that's right. Authorities also tell us that after this incident took place, they pursued a white van into Clackamas County for a traffic violation. And when they pulled over the vehicle, they heard what they believed to be a gunshot inside, and they found the suspect dead inside of that vehicle. The series of 911 calls that came in before 4 this morning detail a situation in which a caller hid from a shooter in their home, and the suspect fled the scene before police arrived. The call came from a house in the 8200 block of Southeast Cottrell Road on Wednesday morning.
They're saying somebody got into the house and shot their husband outside.
911 dispatchers spoke with someone in distress who said they were hiding from a person who shot their husband. The dispatcher then heard gunshots and someone crying. Another person who said they were a neighbor called in, saying they saw someone in the window with a rifle over their shoulder. Minutes later, law enforcement spoke about finding 2 deceased people on the property.
Got a male down, unconscious, not breathing.
After the bodies were discovered, Clackamas County Sheriff's Office deputies tried to stop a white Ford utility van for a traffic violation in Clackamas County. And when the driver didn't stop, deputies pursued the vehicle. They stopped the van on Southeast 131st Avenue near Southeast Comanche Court, and that's when they heard a gunshot and found the driver dead inside the vehicle. They determined afterward that he was connected to the deaths on Cottrell Road, and detectives believe that everyone involved knew each other. Neighbors who didn't want to appear on camera told us the situation was frightening and unexpected for a rural farming area. Southeast Cottrell Road was closed all day between Southeast Carpenter and Southeast Bluff Road as the investigation took place. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office tell us that they will be releasing the names of those victims once autopsies are conducted and next of kin are notified. And we'll be keeping you updated here on the air as well as on our website at kptv.com as we get those details. Reporting live in Boring, I'm Carly Olson, Fox 12 Oregon.